Hello and happy Friday Eve from Radically Rational and radicallyrational.com. Looks like it's March hair time. Insanity all around. For openers, I think politics and religion should end at the pharmacy's front door. Don't you? Apparently not. You're going to think I'm making this up, but here's where we are now. There actually is a proposed introduced bill before the South Carolina legislature that would make abortion punishable by death. And I assume we would stone them to death, I guess. So the nut job wing of the Georgia legislature, which may be a redundancy, they now are going to investigate prosecutors just for retaliatory political reasons. No other way. I don't know how to tell you this, but this is America, and this is not how this branches of government thing is supposed to work. So now, on top of all the other authority he has given himself, DeSantis has appointed himself commissioner of tennis. That's a joke spelled with a DJ. So Kevin McCarthy gifted Tucker Carlson with 40,000 hours of Capitol security video so that he could make his propaganda video. And then yesterday, after calling this a Tucker Carlson exclusive and touting how wonderful it was going to be, okay, McCarthy looked straight at a television reporter and says, no, I haven't seen it. I haven't. Yeah, that's real likely. But I found this to be mildly encouraging. A lot of GOP senators, at least, have seen it. And they've said what we all know. It's utter bullshit. Here's a conundrum, if you really want one. The folks who really need to know about the Fox scandal, and it is nothing short of a scandal, the folks that need to know will never know because they never watch anything other than Fox, and they're damn sure not going to hear a word about it there. That's a problem. I'm kind of wondering what morale at Fox is like right now. I don't think there are enough donuts in the world to cure that. Back the blue? Hell yeah, back the blue. When the blue is true, but I guess that disqualifies the Louisville PD. And yes, no question about it. Don't say otherwise. It is entirely appropriate for DOJ and Merrick Garland to get involved and intervene. The U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has become its own reactionary nation state. Hey, let's bring back the bump stocks that we banned, right? Yeah, that's a good idea. And also, hey, just because somebody is under a restraining order for either committing or threatening domestic violence, that doesn't mean they can't buy a gun, right? Holy moly. All right, looks like we're in for a national recession. We're kind of vectored that way right now. But just to make sure, so that there's no doubt, the GOP will continue to terrorize national and global markets about this whole debt ceiling thing. Absolute insanity. Looks like no charges are going to be filed against Ja Morant, the Grizzlies' star guard, who's had some problems recently. Instagram video, nightclub, waving a gun. They say there's insufficient evidence to charge him with a crime. On the other hand, there is more than sufficient evidence to suggest that right now he ain't right, and I hope he gets some help. Please forgive me if I don't wax poetic or get all misty-eyed here about Jim Boeheim moving away from Syracuse basketball after 47 years. He won a lot of games, bunch of Final Fours, won a national championship. He also is a bad guy. He's a cheater. He's a bully. He treats people horribly. He is a whiner. He is manipulative, and I will not miss him. And I don't say stuff like that very often. All right, so adios to now fired Texas Tech men's basketball coach Mark Adams, who thought it was a good idea to counsel a black player that he should subordinate himself much as a slave does to a master. Self-inflicted. And now there are reports that dismissed and disgraced former Texas men's basketball coach Chris Beard is the front runner for the job at Ole Miss? Patrick Ewing will very soon be the former coach at Georgetown, his alma mater. They just finished up their season 7-25, and they stunk a year ago as well. So adios. Former NBA star Shawn Kemp facing charges in Tacoma, Washington for a drive-by shooting yesterday, Wednesday. And this is not a trifling matter. These are felony charges. Okay, the Arizona Cardinals have a new GM. They have a new coach. Clearly, they're in rebuilding mode. Yesterday, they released veteran wide receiver Chosen Robbie Anderson. Now, you may remember him as Robbie Anderson. No, dude changed his first name to Chosen. In this case, as in chosen for relocation. Lack of production. He got traded to the Cardinals midseason last year, played 10 games there, made a lot of money, caught exactly 7 passes for exactly 76 yards and exactly no TDs in 10 games. I don't know who's going to win the NFC South in 2023, but I do know the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to finish dead last. Okay, I'm kind of happy to take this view because I didn't want to think that he was guilty, but I'm now totally convinced that Michael Irvin is innocent of all these trumped up charges and allegations and attempts to drain money from him. The woman who said that they had an improper, whatever that means, conversation in a hotel lobby the week of the Super Bowl, and as soon as, it didn't have anything to do with evidence. It had to do with the nature of the allegation. NFL Network immediately takes him off the air and kind of embarrasses him. And there are now eyewitnesses who say, Michael Irvin didn't do one dang thing wrong. I hope he cleans up in that lawsuit. I hope he cleans up. Any NFL player who has an agent that is himself, if he hires himself as his agent, he has a fool for a client. We introduce into evidence Lamar Jackson. All right, you can't say that the Jets aren't really trying to land Aaron Rodgers. The Jets owner, Woody Johnson, the GM, Joe Douglas, the head coach, Robert Saleh, and the offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett, longtime bud of Aaron Rodgers, they flew to California yesterday to see what they can do to make this enticing for Mr. Rodgers. Now, of course, they have to arrange a trade, but it may happen. But this was my favorite part. Sauce Gardner, the guy who last year as a rookie was first team All-Pro as a cornerback for the Jets and the defensive rookie of the year, he sent out a tweet yesterday and said, hey, Aaron, if you come to the Jets, I promise you, I won't pick you off in practice. That's my man. That to me is radically rational.